Not Quite Meant to Be by Genevieve Gruser. Narrated by Rosalie Fox. Chapter 4. A Bet and a Bruised Ego. Colton. It was 4:30 when I finally got to the Anderson ranch. Ilana had already tacked up and shot me a glare that, by rights, should have turned me to stone. "You're late." "I'm sorry, the bloody bull broke through the fence again and took half the herd with him for a forage into old Phil's cornfields. As soon as I can find a replacement, I'm turning him into steak and chops and inviting the entire state to one hell of a barbecue." "Were you in such a hurry that you didn't have time to tack up?" I was riding bareback and bridleless. The only piece of tack Missy wore was a neck strap. "Nah, I just wanted to prove to you that she can beat him without much help from me." "Famous last words, Johnson. You'll be nursing bruises on more than just your ego by the time this is done." "What makes you so sure, kitten?" "You're riding in Appaloosa." She said it as if the word tasted bitter. "And besides that, stallions are faster than mares. There's a reason why 60% of all racehorses are stallions." "We'll see who winds up with a bruised ego, darling. Go on, I'll even give you a head start." "Cocky bastard," she muttered as she lined Blaze up with the gravel road we'd be using as a racetrack, slid her outside leg back and blew a kiss. I hung back for 10 seconds or so, admiring the picture they made. Ilana had left her hair down, and it streamed out behind her like a cape, as jet black as Blaze's mane and tail. She rode as though she had been born in the saddle. It almost made me wish that I could simply be a spectator on the sidelines, so that I could commit the picture to memory. But I had made a bet, and I didn't intend to lose it, so Missy and I did a lead departure of our own. She was purring, huffing through her nostrils in anticipation, but she knew the drill. Take it steady. Let 'em think they've won. Then shatter their dreams in a cloud of dust. "This ain't a Sunday stroll, Johnson!" Ilana yelled over the rushing wind. They were about 15 strides ahead of us. "If you rode as well as you talked, kitten, you might actually have a chance." I slowed my seat down even more, letting her gain ground. My heart thudded with anticipation. This victory had to be our biggest yet. When 4 horses could comfortably have fit in between us, I leaned forward the slightest bit, and Missy took off like a bullet from a gun barrel. I had done this countless times before, but her speed still amazed me. Her hooves barely made contact with the ground as she closed the distance between her and Blaze like a bloodhound who had spotted a deer. "Close your mouth, kitten," I advised as we drew level with them, unable to contain my smile any longer. "You'll swallow a fly." Missy didn't slow down for a second. Apparently she wasn't taking any chances either. The raw power of her stride made it feel as if she would run clean out from under me. She vibrated with excitement, and I sat even more forward, keeping a firm grip on her copper mane. She took my breath away, every time. When the ranch's gate loomed 6 feet ahead, I sat back and she slid to a stop, nickering softly, as if she knew exactly what we had just accomplished. A glance over my shoulder found a scowling Ilana a full horse length behind us. "That expression really doesn't suit you, darling. Are the bruises smarting yet?" Missy rested her chin on my right boot, and I swear she smirked as they came to a stop beside us. "Don't look so pleased," Ilana huffed at her. "All you're getting out of this is 11 months of discomfort and an oversized tick who'll follow you around for another 6 months or so." "Don't be such a sore loser. It really wasn't that bad. She's just an Appaloosa mare, after all." Ilana flashed a very obnoxious sign over her shoulder, turning Blaze back in the direction of the barn. Bring her tomorrow and leave that "I told you so" grin at home. It'll get quite crowded with you and your ego crammed into one paddock. We'll be here, I promised, still grinning. I'll help you with the breakfast run too, since the day Mackenzie comes within a mile of the feed room is the day I dye my hair platinum blonde and buy a surfboard. She paused and turned in her saddle to look me up and down critically. You're a bit bulky for a surfer, Johnson. They'd feel threatened and leave you to the sharks. By the look I got just now, I'd wager you were contemplating sacrificing me to the coyotes. I'd rather take my chances with them, if I'm being honest. I suppose I can put up with you if it means I get to drink a cup of coffee in peace before I have to yank Mackenzie out of bed by her ears. Not the best compliment I've ever gotten, but I'll take it if it means I get to avoid both the coyotes and the sharks for the time being. This earned me the ghost of a smile. Compliments were never part of the deal. I'll see you tomorrow, Johnson. She took off at a steady lope, and I watched them until they disappeared in the distance. I was slowly starting to realize that I might have known Ilana for 21 years, but I really didn't know her at all. She left me puzzled more often than not. If this had been an ordinary situation, I would have been out of the door and gone for good already. I don't like puzzles. They require time, effort, and commitment. I had sworn off all three of those things years ago. Yet here I was, watching a cowgirl ride into the distance with a smile and a thought that left me feeling very uneasy. I can't wait for tomorrow.